YouTube family. Listen, if you have always had the desire to travel but don't know where to begin, this video is for you. If when you do decide to travel, you tend to always go to the same places because A, that's what you know, or B, that's what you believe that you can afford, guess what? This video is for you. If See, you just don't know where to begin or where to get started, but you know you want to start traveling because YOLO, you only get one life. This video is definitely for you.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not understanding.
Hey, family, how are you guys doing this evening? As I promised, I was going to come on this good YouTube space and teach you guys how to plan your travel more effectively to ensuring that you are positioning yourselves to travel abroad, right? When we think of travel, some of us, we think of cruising, we think of land trips to the Caribbean, and a lot of times, my family included, when they thought of Italy or Greece or Iceland or places, Maldives, Thailand, Bali, they thought these places were so out of reach that they just never thought to make these plans and bring them to life. It wasn't until I started traveling and really opening my horizon and seeing the world for what it was and wanting to make sure, that my family had an opportunity to experience these amazing vacations. I made sure that when I came back, I told them all about it. They were excited. And guess what? We got to planning. So now, my husband and I, of course, we take one annual trip with just he and I. But then we try to take one or two trips a year with our extended family. And I listen. I love both for both reasons. We need our alone time, but I feel like I need to travel with my family. There's so much joy that I get out of seeing my family enjoy explorations. It brings me so much joy when I see, my children, my nieces and nephews have an opportunity, to bring their history books to life. There is nothing that gives my heart pleasure more than seeing their imaginations come to life. I just love it. And I challenge you to help allow me to show you how you can do this same exact thing for your family. Again, I am not a travel agent. I do research because it's something that I have a passion for. It is something that I truly do love. I, I get all of the information gathered and then I take it to my, travel agent who then puts it into planning. And the reason I go through a travel agent, not that we can't book it alone, but it's almost like a second check and balance to make sure, especially if you don't know, how long it takes to get there, what the hour differential is between where you are located and the country you are visiting, how many hours difference that is, to make sure that when we book our hotels, that we are booking them on the day that we are arriving versus the day that we are leaving from our home. It's a check and balance. It also is great to use a travel agent because most times, most people appreciate payment plans, and travel agents respect and they honor that and they love that, and they make sure that, your trip gets planned without you breaking the bank all at one time, and it doesn't seem so daunting. So that is why we use a travel agent. I'm going to be looking at my phone a lot because my notes are in my phone, and I want to make sure that I'm providing you with the most up to date and accurate information. Of course, I'm going to include screenshots so that you can see these things come to life. So now we discussed in the previous video, and if you haven't watched it yet, make sure you go tune into that video. That's a land trip. And I told you guys that I was going to show you how to cruise differently. A couple years ago, when my daughter graduated high school, she wanted to go to Italy. So, my family, my mother, my aunts, they love cruising. So, what did I do? I incorporated a land trip as well as a cruise. So, we were able to do two things at one time, and it made for a memorable, a lasting place on our hearts for this vacation that we had. And I think if you asked each of them, and we've been to some fantastic, amazing, places, but I think they would say that that was probably one of their best trips because they were able to experience two things that they love most: traveling and traveling by way of cruising. So, what did we do? Well, my husband and I, because that year was such a crazy year dealing with graduations, we took a land trip prior to meeting everyone in Paris. We took a land trip to Santorini, Greece, because he and I wanted our alone time, and Greece is somewhere that I have been wanting to go. And yes, the cruise that we are going to mention was stopping in Greece, but cruises give you a taste, doesn't necessarily give you the full gamut of the location that you're visiting, and it is a place that was high on my bucket list to explore. So he and I went to Santorini, Greece for a week, and then we met all of the family in Paris. So after, he and I enjoyed our vacation, we had plans on meeting everyone in Paris. And my mother was gracious enough to, watch the kids while we were away, she and Papa. So they watched the kids while we were away and then allowed them to fly with them to Paris to meet up with us. So we got a chance to explore in Paris for a few nights, which, it was amazing. It's a place that I definitely want to go back to. It's like a diamond in the rough, right? I love everything about Paris, and I cannot wait to go back and visit. And I believe my family did as well. So we spent a few nights there, and then from Paris we went to Rome. And then we stayed in Rome 2 nights before leaving for our cruise, which ported from Rome. So I'm gonna just, and let me explain. Rome, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Fantastic. The culture, the people, the food, the vibes, everything was just, it was so, the history has been preserved there. They understand the beauty in history of past time, and they've found a way to maintain that beauty and that history and the culture. Everything's so, enriched by all of the, like, BC. We hear things BC, after Christ. I, I just, there are no words, and I don't even know that the pictures that I'm posting here of, one of the seven wonders of the world, which, the Colosseum, and then we have the Vatican over here. I don't know that these pictures do. As a matter of fact, I know they don't do this place justice. If I don't know how I can suggest or recommend more, please go visit, guys. Make sure that you put it on your bucket list. And if you're afraid of just going there and exploring, hop on a cruise. But I will say, I do recommend that you stay over there a couple nights before you cruise. It is not mandatory, but if you're going to take an 8-hour flight, you might as well explore the town, seeing as though there's so much to do. Nevertheless, we stayed in Rome for a couple nights before we headed out on our cruise. That particular cruise went to Santorini. It went to Mykonos. It went to Kassaduri, which is in Turkey. And then it also stopped in Capri, which by Capri, we were able to explore Naples, the Amalfi Coast, Positano. Listen, a dream vacation. But here, what I'm showing you today is how you can actually make this dream come true for you. Oftentimes, when we look at cruises going to the Caribbean, especially in the summer months, we know that that's one of the most desirable times to vacation. And I'm pulling it up here on Travelocity. As you can see, traveling to on a cruise from a 7 night cruise traveling to the Caribbean. And we're going to choose this one. It's coming from New Jersey. It's on the Oasis. And the reason I'm choosing the Oasis is because I would say out of Royal Caribbean's fleet, it's probably most comparable to the Odyssey of the Seas, which is what I'm going to price out for your trip for you. So, when looking at the Oasis of the Seas, as you can see, for two people, June 25th to July 4th or 5th, it's about 1363, right? That's fair. Now let me show you guys the cost to cruise from Rome to some of these fabulous vacation spots, bucket list itineraries. Um, so on the Oasis of the Sea, and I'm sorry, the Odyssey of the Sea. I'm choosing this because I know it's a fabulous ship. It is one of their larger ships, not the newest ships, but well maintained, well kept cruise ships. It's a same price, $1,300. But look at the itinerary difference, right? Instead of going to the Caribbean, which is beautiful, I have nothing against the Caribbean. But guess what? We can get to the Caribbean anytime. It's so accessible to us. So why not utilize your vacation, your holiday, to explore another country? And if you're watching by way of Europe, guess what? You should probably come over to the States and explore the Caribbean. We get so comfortable in doing what we know that it's oftentimes it takes courage and it takes the quest for your curiosity to push you into more. Like United States, we don't have any seven wonders. We don't have any seven wonders of the world. It is my desire to make sure that I make it to all of the seven wonders of the world. I want to see it with my eyes. I have the desire to see it with my eyes. Nevertheless, as you can see, guys, you can plan your vacation to anywhere in the world. And the underlining theme here is that most of these vacations that you plan, whether you're here in the States, whether you are in the Caribbean, or whether you travel across the pond, guess what? It's averaging about the same cost. Now, of course, I'm showing you flights. Now, listen, the cruise that I looked at and priced out for you guys, it's for 2026. Flights are not available for June of 2026 yet. So I'm looking at flights for this June. We are so close to this June that the reasonable flights costs have already been taken, guys. So I know that it says that it's $1,200 round trip for this June. But guess what? When the flights open for next June, if you get them early enough, which again, if you enlist the help and support of a travel agent, they'll make sure that you're on that and they will make sure that your package price includes a reasonable fare, for your flights. But nevertheless, you get your flights soon enough. That $1,200, I think when we went, we paid about $850 per person for our flights. I think that's a better estimate than 1,200 for a month or 2 months away, right? I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what the flights look like if you get them last minute. But again, if you purchase them in advance, much cheaper. And this is estimating on an economy, rate or economy fare. Of course, if you travel comfort or economy plus, which is comfort, or business class or first class, the cost per person, of course, is going to increase. You're going to pay for your comfort. Some people don't mind. I'm some people. But nevertheless, some just want to, get there safely, securely, and they don't care about the extra leg room, the extra space, and the meals that are being served. I'm her too. Listen, I'm going to go with what makes the most sense for my budget at the time. Really, I can get comfortable once I get there. I recognize that my 8 hour flight, it it's more comfortable than, say, flying domestically. But guess what? I'm more excited. I'm on a high because of where I'm going, not how I'm sitting to get there. But that's just me, guys. You know you, and you know what you need, and you know what makes you feel good. So of course, you want to make sure that you check all the check marks on your list of travel, right? I'm just telling you what's good and how I, pose questions for myself and my family when we're planning our travel. You can use this same mindset or you can plan yours as you see fit. These are just ideas, right? It is not meant to sway you one way or another. Give me 1 second. Honey, I needed some water. Nevertheless, guys, I really, really, really want to, help you position yourselves to see the places that you dream of or that you have read about in your history books. It is so possible. It is so possible. I love cruising. I can't say that I love land trip versus cruising more. I love both for very different reasons. But when I'm not familiar with certain territories, cruising for me makes sense. And why is that? It is mindless travel. You don't have to think about what it is you're going to do each day. It's pretty much laid out, planned out for you. Only thing you have to do is go through the cruise catalog and figure out your excursions. But they make it so easy for you. You're traveling with the cruise group. So, safety and security, they're not going to take you in an area that is not, safe for you. They're going to make sure that the tour is recognized as a quality tour. They're going to make sure that you get to and from your tour on time. And if you book with the cruise ship, guess what? They will not leave you. They guarantee that they will wait for you and your group if you book with the cruise ship. So there's certain safety and security that I just appreciate in cruise travel. Also, when traveling over to, different worlds and countries, you may be a very, very picky eater. You may be extremely picky. I'm picky. I know that if I get on the cruise, there's going to be breakfast that I enjoy, lunch that I enjoy, and dinner that I enjoy. I don't have to worry about eating in the different countries. Now, do I? Absolutely. That's a part. That's what makes my trip and my destinations for me. Experiencing the culture, and that for me includes the food. I just, if I go somewhere where I'm uneasy and I'm not necessarily into street food, the cruising is my safe space because guess what? I know that I at least can get back on the ship and I'm going to get something that I will enjoy to eat on. And that's something that's extremely important to me in my travel. I know that entertainment in the evening is going to be top notch. I'm going to get some amazing shows. So besides just getting, the country that we're visiting or the port that we're stopping at, guess what? I'm going to be completely entertained through this process. And I love that for me. Hold on, guys. My door is my son. Hold on. So y'all, we have guests. My son has brought his friends, his football buddies to the house. They want to be in the video. Now I know we were just good and deep in our conversation, but come meet the boys. Ontario. That's it. MJ.
All right, MJ, Moran, I got a Twitch if y'all want to come on my Twitch, man. It's Plumber, come check me out, man.
What is it?
It's Plumber.
Spell it.
Like ITS, it's then Plumber, like PLUMMA.
I don't know how to use Twitch, but I probably need to learn. Because I
like,
can follow MJ.
If y'all like games, man, come check me out.
Petey, you getting on?
Petey, who is Petey?
Paulie.
My name is Paulie, Friends with Ontario, Russell.
Hey, Paulie. And Luke.
Justin.
Justin. Hey, Justin, you want to shamelessly plug yours too?
I don't have one. That's all. Ron.
You want football player on the come up?
Hey.
He's an old lineman.
Hey, that's important.
Send it on. Me too.
That's what's up.
Everyone besides.
We trying to go to college for free, baby. Do you hear me? And whatever else that takes us to. Okay? All right, guys. But the boys. Nevertheless, I wanted to make sure that I, plugged in and showed you guys exactly what I told you I would. I have gotten so many questions about how, to make it make sense. Which one do I appreciate more? Land trips or cruising? And so I wanted to make sure that I showed you guys, just give you an example of how you can combine the both worlds. Know that two things can be true at the same time in reference to loving cruising and loving land trips, because I love both. I love both. And I don't feel like I have to choose which one I love or appreciate more. I love both for various reasons. Of course, if I'm doing a land trip, I truly, truly get to enjoy the culture. I'm not rushed. I can sit there and just relish in the moment. That's why that trip that we took to Europe, where we did land and sea, was incredible because it combined both of my loves and appreciation, for travel. Cruising, I think, gives you a taste so that you can decide if this is something that makes sense for you. So before you plan a land trip, it gives you a taste of the culture to know if you even want to go back. Like Turkey, for example. Who knew that I was going to appreciate Turkey as much as I did? Loved Kusadari, Turkey. And now have a desire to travel more in Turkey and, really relish in their culture. So I suggest and recommend that you guys get out, experience it. Take some of the tools that I've given you for your toolbox to help you plan your next travel experience. All right, guys, talk to you later. These boys are going to get loud. Chime in, let me know your thoughts, your questions. And I promise if I haven't answered it today, I will definitely come back to you and answer all of your questions. This is what I love. Honey, this is my space. So I don't mind, continuing to talk and speak on it. All right. I'll see you later. Bye.